Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Tracy, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, she's working full-time in a retail walk-in clinic. She recently started a wellness practice where she provides weight loss, men's health, and IV infusions. Her ultimate goal is to pivot into functional medicine. She's needing assistance with marketing, how to set up subscription-based pricing, and how to get her practice on the right footing for success. Hey, Tracy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Justin?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on here. So tell us about yourself. How long have you been a nurse practitioner for, and what things you've been doing?
Going on a year as a nurse practitioner. I'm getting ready to have that anniversary. And I've been in healthcare since 1996, so that's telling my age. But
Yeah.
in some capacity, I actually started out as just in high school as just private duty care, and then I've kind of worked myself up the whole path from tech to got my LPN and then my RN and then bridged to bachelor's and then ended up getting my master's in family nurse practitioner. So
Yeah. Okay. So I assume you are in your 50s?
Not quite. No,
Not quite yet. Okay, gotcha.
Mid-40s. Yeah.
Mid-40s. Okay, so you started right when, pretty much right when you got out of high school, it sounds like.
Yeah. Junior year, I had a private duty patient that was helping me with U.S. history homework, if that tells you anything.
Okay. All right. So mid-40s, and you're wanting to start, you already started this practice, so I'm assuming your ultimate goal here is to build some wealth and try to get to the goal of financial independence by your mid-50s, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do want a little bit more control over my life. I've been in healthcare for a long time, so obviously I've not gotten a whole lot of that, but I do want that more of that independence and just that I have a little bit of alternative of the way I like to treat people too. So
Sure. Yeah. That's that's kind of the bad thing about being in healthcare. Like it's still just a job at the end of the day for most people. Like you're always tied down to your schedule. You're always tied down to regulations, what the boss says, et cetera. So, yeah. So I get it. Okay, cool. So you're working at a little retail walk-in clinic. What are your hours like there?
it's alternating. So 1 week I will work, let's say like this weekend, it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm off Monday, Tuesday, then I work Wednesday, Thursday, and then it rotates like that every week. So
I got you. So is it 8-hour shifts?
it is usually about 10 to 11 hour shifts.
10 to 11-hour shifts. Okay.
Yeah.
So your plan is to kind of get this side business started on your days off and basically just go from there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started this practice. So when did you start this?
I actually established the company and everything, the LLC, back at the end of February, beginning of March. And I had a soft opening last month, about 3.5 weeks ago. So
Yeah. Okay. So this is a pretty new business then. So you're offering weight loss, HRT, and like some IV infusion stuff?
yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I figured that was a little bit better place to start with those things because they're more familiar to me in most aspects of them, and then to develop the functional medicine later when I get more under my belt with that. So
Yeah. 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 Fair enough. Okay. How's business been?
not it's almost non-existent. I've had a few patients and that's it.
Just a few patients. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the process of building the marketing side of it, and it's just kind of like, ugh, the investment is really starting to make me cringe, but I know it's necessary. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about starting a business. Like you really got to put some money into it, during the beginning phases of it. And you don't really get a whole lot of payoff on it until, sometimes it can take 6 months before you really start seeing some money come in. So that's completely normal. Okay. I don't really think I started really making much of a profit at all, in my men's health clinic for 6 to 12 months. Really, I really didn't start making much at all. Okay. So that's completely normal. Um, and the first month that you're open, you know, it's pretty normal too to really only have a handful of patients, especially if you're not really marketing it. So, so you're not really, I mean, I don't hear anything here that's like really concerning. Okay. Sounds like what you're doing is, uh, pretty normal. Um, where did you get these patients that you have now?
personal, they're personal.
Just kind of
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Which is a good practice too, and working out the bugs with like my EMR, and they're more patient because they know me, they're personal connections, and it's just a lot easier for them to be my first people.
Sure, sure. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's a smart move, always kind of start slow, work out the kinks, before you really, dive all the way in. I mean, that's a smart play. That's what I recommend for everybody, especially if they're new to business. Like, don't go all in right from the beginning. It's usually a good idea to kind of just start slow and figure out, the compounding pharmacies, the vendors, the EMRs, et cetera. Like, figure that out now while it's slow. It's not a good idea to have all those problems and be really busy.
That's true, because that's been part of, like, the double-edged sword these last couple of weeks is I really wanna be busy, and then I'm thinking, but some of these kinks I need to work out, I'm almost thankful I'm not yet, so
Sure, sure. Okay. Um, so this is a brick and mortar practice?
it is. Initially, I was establishing it as, under a UPS, mailbox location to be a telehealth practice only. I hadn't found a location. I really looked into I was completely blessed, to be honest with you, that this lady, she is my landlord. She had a space coming open, and I just happened to contact her about it. I walked through, and I knew that the pricing was way over what I could afford. It was a couple grand a month, and it's 2,000 square feet with 8 offices within it. And so I just let her know, it's out of my price range right now. It's what I strive to be in and down the road, but it's not realistic for me just starting out. Well, so she slid a paper to me and told me that it would be 40%. I think it's about 40% of what she wanted out of it initially. That's what I'll pay for a year and a half, and then it increases only by like $300 to $500 a month after that. I mean, not a month, but each year. So that's a great. She's been really great.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a deal. So you're only paying like $1,200 a month for this?
800.
800. Okay. So even,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So you got a great deal. Yeah. This is a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
was so thankful. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Um, how's the location? Are you on a main road? Like describe this
Um,
to me.
I'm here in Kentucky, and I'm in a small rural town. I grew up in a big town in Kentucky, a big city in Kentucky, but I've lived here in this small town for about 5 or 6 years now, and so it's here. It's probably a population of about 10,000 people. With cities close by, they're more like 30,000. But it is off the road, off a main road, and just a little ways, maybe about a quarter of a mile off the road. But I do have signage up, and there is a lot of traffic. It's just not road front.
Right. Right. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So, man, it's not a bad location. Doesn't sound like, but it's not the best one. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, it'll work. So, I'm assuming you have the basic stuff out of the way here. You have a website, you have a Google business listing, right?
Yes, I do. Yep. And I just actually signed up with somebody to help me with SEO recently.
Okay. How much are you paying them?
It's about $550 a month just for the SEO part because I couldn't really budget for the full ad, like the Google ad and everything right now.
Okay, well, that's not bad. I mean, as long as they know what they're doing and, that sort of a thing. Um, you probably really don't have to go hard on SEO. I mean, if you don't really have a lot of competition in your town, it's a smaller
I don't.
town. Yeah. I mean, people are just going to find you anyways, just through your Google business listing. Okay. So don't invest too much into that. Okay.
Maybe a month and just to get it in order and then switch everything.
Yeah, maybe just a couple months and kind of just see how it works. And then after that, just be like, hey, I probably don't really need a whole lot more SEO work. I don't have competition. I don't have a whole lot of, I don't really have a need for it. Like you don't have to get your clinic above, 5 or 6 other ones in your area. You're the only place in town. So, you should be prioritized just through the Google algorithms anyway. So what you need to focus on right now is, get that Google business listing, make it look really nice, put pictures on there, start getting as many reviews from friends and family, et cetera, on there as possible. Okay.
Okay.
The more reviews you have on there, the better it looks. Okay. It basically establishes that, you truly are, it's a real business. It makes you look legitimate. So, it gives you credibility basically. So, prioritize that. Get lots of reviews on there.
Okay.
You get 15, 20, 30 reviews on there. I mean, it really looks like a real business. When you only have a couple, little red flags start popping in their head, like, do people go here? So really,
Real pictures. So,
okay, perfect. Yeah. So prioritize that. Okay. That's free. And honestly, it probably has some of the biggest dividends for you, really. Like it's going to pay off a lot more than a lot of other paid things that you'll do.
okay.
Okay.
And I do have my Facebook page and everything set up too, and I have a lot of traffic. Oh, well, I've had quite a bit of traffic to that. I recently have joined 2 out of 3 of the surrounding the one that I'm in and 2 surrounding chambers of commerce. So I'm going to have all that too. I have
Okay.
recorded a radio ad this morning.
Okay. Okay. Chamber of Commerce stuff seems to be real hit or miss. Some people get some good results out of it and some people don't. Same thing with the radio ad. You might get some good results from it, but you might not. So, go into this with some realistic expectations. It might not pan off as much as you hope it will. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with you being in a smaller town, cities that are less than 250,000 people, billboards tend to work really well because the majority of the town's going to be traveling on, 1 or 2 roads. And if you can get a billboard on that road, then it gives you great visibility. A lot of people are going to see you.
I actually already checked into that. We do have a new billboard in town, and I checked into that, but somebody had already reserved it, and he went ahead and quoted it because he should have an opening coming up this fall. So,
All right, we'll take advantage of that. Okay.
yeah.
And also be thinking about, where can you get the word out locally? Can you go to some gyms? Can you, go to some places where your patients are going to be? Once you get the word in various places, then it usually spreads pretty quick, especially like, the police department, for example, the fire department,
Of course.
golf course. Golf course is going to be hit or miss. Okay.
Okay. Because they did have like a senior scramble, and my neighbor does that all the time with them, and he said those, that would be a lot of business for you. But so I thought about that, but I don't know.
Well, if it's a senior scramble, it might not pan out as well as you think it will because most seniors are going to want to use their Medicare and stuff. And if
Oh,
you're your cash base, yeah, so it might not work as well as you think it will.
okay.
Okay, yeah, the majority of your patients are probably going to be middle age.
Okay.
Okay,
My
so
my first men's health patient so far has been mid-40s. So
yeah, that seems to be about average. So, weight loss as well, I mean, weight loss, I mean, you could treat people as young as, 18 years old. But I'd say the vast majority are going to be between the ages of 25 and 45, probably. And of course, you'll get some outliers, above that. But But yeah, so, be thinking, how can you get the word into various places? Okay. Sometimes dropping off discount cards or some brochures or something like that. Just, get dressed up, go around town and just try to sell this yourself.
Okay.
That can tend to pay off big time. Conversion rate on that might only be 10%. Okay. You'll go to all kinds of businesses, you'll go to all kind of places, and a lot of it's going to be duds. But all it takes is just a couple people to say, okay, and they become patients. You treat them, they lose weight, whatever. They tell their friends, word of mouth snowball starts. Okay.
Yeah.
Paid advertising online can work well, especially in a lower population area. I mean, if there's only 10,000 people in your city, then, a Facebook ad targeting everyone in the area, just narrow it down to, the age group, the demographics that you think, would bite, and you can send it out. And I would say just in a couple months, probably just about everyone will have seen your ad. Google search ads, I don't think are going to be really necessary for you unless you want to target other cities or towns around you.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of looking into is the adjacent to towns for for sure. And they're only about 10 to 15 minutes away, but um I was saying I kind of wondered, I've already looked into the EDDM mailing and doing some postcards and doing it that way instead. I just didn't know if that would be better than Google Ads or not.
Google ads are going to be better.
Okay.
Yeah. Direct mail, again, is real hit or miss, and it tends to be more of a miss.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I don't look at shit like that. I just throw it in the trash.
I do too.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Most people do. So a Google search ad, though, is going to be powerful because you're going to be advertising to hot leads, warm leads, because people are going to be searching for weight loss around me, weight loss clinic or whatever. And so if you can use those keywords, then you should come up.
Okay. Already be in the right direction.
Yeah. That's what I would do, especially if you want to target the other towns. That's where digital advertising can really, really pay off. Like you can advertise on Facebook and Google in those towns. Like you can target those towns specifically and get the word out there. Or even putting a couple billboards in those towns could prove to be worthwhile.
Yeah, I thought about that too. It might be a little bit more expensive than here, but it's probably beneficial. And I really couldn't believe, like, I was talking to the guy that's doing my SEO, and we were talking about the Google ads and stuff like that. And the positive that I, came to the conclusion of is that if I'm the only person, because Google ads, like pay per click, he said the pricing on those, the per click pricing can kind of go up depending on the demand in the area. So obviously, I'm gonna kind of have a good break on that too if I'm the only one.
If you're the only one, exactly. I mean, it really shouldn't cost that much. I mean, it really shouldn't. Like your goal right now, the next 6 months, is just try to get as many people in the door as you can,
Yeah.
and then provide good care. And if you do that, word of mouth will then begin to replace your paid advertising.
Okay.
Okay. So it's really just that burst, that initial 6 month burst is where you should be spending the money once you're ready for the patients. And then after that, you can really start, tailoring it down a little bit. You can really just take your foot off the pedal. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Like with my men's health clinic at this point, I really don't spend that much on advertising anymore. I don't have to.
Mhm.
Because, word of mouth. I mean, we get so many referrals by just word of mouth, and, our Google business listing has, 100 reviews or whatever. And so we've established our credibility in the community. And at this point, I mean, what's advertising really going to do for us? It's not going to do much at this point. You know what I mean? Like we still do some Google search ads and stuff, but I really don't have to spend a whole lot of money marketing anymore.
Yeah. So you just do mainly like promos and stuff at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. And we spend a lot of our effort and time marketing to our established patients because it's always cheaper to market to your established patients than getting new patients.
Mhm.
So, we try to get people on peptides or weight loss or whatever. We build an email list and we email people, hey, July special, 20% off semaglutide or whatever. And we'll blast that out to our email list of established patients or whatever. And, it's pretty much free advertising and we get business from it. But you're not quite there yet. Like, you'll get there. Make sure that you're collecting people's email addresses and start building out that email list.
Okay.
Okay. You can use, I mean, there's a variety of email marketing tools out there. Um, MailChimp and Aweber and things like that. I mean, there's so many of them. So just start collecting the emails and start building that list out, and then, give it a few months. Once you have, 50 to 100 patients or whatever, then you can really start sending them promotions for various other things that you do, say, I don't know, $150 IV infusion, NAD, whatever, just sell them on stuff that you can do to increase the lifetime value of, the current customer that you have, because that's a lot cheaper than getting new customers.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good idea. I've been trying to do like run promos and do my own ads on Facebook and stuff with it's called Poster My Wall. And it's pretty good, and it's even, video ads and everything. So it was good, but it's just not reaching people. So obviously. But yeah, and I didn't know like if do you ever find when you were first starting out, did you ever find yourself kind of, um, like doing anything to promote just them to submit their information online so you do have their email, even if they're not a current patient, even if they're not signing up for a booking or something?
Yeah, I mean, you can have, keep up with the latest or whatever and have a pop-up on your website to collect an email address. You can do that, but, you know, does it work well? Yeah, I mean, it can, but I find it easier just to do it to establish patients. So you could try it and see, but you have to give them some value to sign up on the email list. Like, are you releasing articles, based off of weight loss or videos or, on hormone replacement therapy, whatever. Like, you got to kind of give them a reason to subscribe.
And so when you do that, do you, like, in order to start doing that, do you suggest to just put that on your business website? Or, I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
really keen to how that works of doing like blogs or starting an article.
Yeah,
per-
correct.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just on your website, just yeah, like activate the blog feature, or article feature on your website, and you just write an article and you upload it on there. That's going to improve your SEO as well.
Okay. Well, what I could do, I had already for the last a little bit over a year, I had started a wellness nook on my Facebook. It was a separate page, a group. It's a private group. So I could just kind of take what I posted in there and reiterate that on my page, on my business page.
Yeah, why not? Exactly. Yeah. So, so that's what I would do with marketing. Like, it's really not that complicated. Just do those things right there that we talked about, and you should start getting some patients.
Okay. Yeah, I need it. I feel the crunch that I need it, but I almost am kind of scared of it too because I'm not fully ready. I have a lot ready. It's just the little things that always matter.
Right, right. Well, get that stuff worked out, and then pull the trigger. But like right now, just get that Google business listing up and running, get some reviews, and people will start calling.
Okay. Yeah, the my Google business listing, it's running pretty well actually. When he did the whole assessment on it, he analyzed it. He said it's run pretty well considering it's new. That it was all in the yellow or whatever that means. So it was good.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah.
my husband did my website, so kudos to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, just prioritize the Google business listing, get some reviews, try to spread the word out locally, and just be patient. You could also try to entice patients that you have for like to refer people to you. For every paid referral that you get, you can give them 10% off their next month or whatever.
Now that's another thing I was going to get your input on is how much of a gray area that is for that to be. Maybe I just don't understand it fully. But like the start clause and all those regulations on doing that, does that apply to this situation?
Cash-based businesses, no.
Okay. I was just trying to be sure of that before I crossed any lines.
No. With a cash-based business, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, most of that stuff applies to Medicare and Medicaid.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I tell you one thing definitely that I've heard many other people say, and I can chime right in, is that any healthcare program, educational program teaches you nothing about the business side of anything.
Yeah, most of them don't.
It has been, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. So it's like all the little details are just inundating, and it can catch you real quick. But
Well, like I've said before on this podcast multiple times, is that, you know, how do you prioritize what's important and what's not? You know,
yeah,
so much of this is just fluffy bullshit that doesn't matter. Okay.
mhm,
It's just noise. Like, I still have stuff on my to-do list from 3 years ago. It's not important, you know. It doesn't matter. It's not going to really change anything. That's why I'm probably never going to do it. But like I've said before in other podcasts, if you're not killing people, hurting patients, or committing fraud, then everything else is just kind of noise. I mean, as long as you have a website, you have your Google business listing, you have products to sell, services to sell, you have a way to get payments. That's the majority of it. Like, the rest of it's just kind of noise. It's not that important, right?
it is. And I'm one of those people. I'm like squirrel. Every time I see something else that is a possible hurdle, I'm just like totally distracted from the end result.
Well, shut it all off. Don't
Yeah.
be looking up a bunch of stuff because this person says this person says that. It's just gonna it's gonna flood your
And I can't avoid it.
it's just stop. Like, just stop doing that. Instead, focus on what's right in front of you. All you got to do is get a patient through that door, have them sign some consent forms, do a visit with them, start weight loss, start HRT, whatever.
Mhm.
Get the payment, have the pharmacy send them the medication, schedule the follow up. That's it. What else do you need to do?
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Yep, I'm getting there. I've done a few IV hydrations and one men's health so far, and then I have weight loss that I'm getting ready to roll out. I'm not completely up to par on how I want to package that yet. But your programs have okay. So I even well before I graduated last year, I had been listening to your podcast and looking into everything you offer. Um, right out of school, actually, one of my locations, my clinical locations, they offered me a position, and it was a great experience because it was horrific, and I was naive enough to take a verbal agreement instead of any type of contract, which was a positive because I didn't have a non-compete or anything, but it was hurting patients in and out with no regard to much of anything. And it was a great experience, but they wanted me right out of the gate to see 30 patients a day. So it kind of sped up the decision to go this route, to work the retail clinic and have the flexibility in hours, and then take you up on all that you have to offer. And I've done 4 courses with you so far. And it's just been a great experience. So I really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. I mean, I'm glad they've helped you. I mean, it gives you everything that you need to know, so plus you get some CE as well, I mean, it's greater. Yeah. So this weight loss thing that you're wanting to do. So the weight loss is going to probably end up becoming your main service. Okay. That's probably where you're going to make the majority of your money.
Well, see, my husband was like, and when I was first getting started, he was like, I think it's going to be the men's health. And I was kind of disagreeing a little bit.
Men's health will be second, IV will be third.
Right.
Okay. The IV stuff, you might end up scrapping in a year.
I know, I kinda get that impression. I hear you say often, "Let the people tell you what they want," and it has not been IV that much. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of interest in that.
Yeah, it's laborsome, it's expensive.
It
It's
is. Yeah.
yeah, it's not something. Don't just offer it as an accessory service and call it a day. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think it's one of those things that you should be investing a lot of time or money into, okay? I
Okay.
mean, we do a handful of infusions anymore. I mostly just give people vitamin injections. It's so much faster. Here's your NAD, boom. Here's your B12, here's your B complex, boom. Here's your magnesium, like here, I'll just give you some injections. It's so much faster.
So speaking of NAD, because I'm just gonna tell you, my husband and I have had it over the past couple weeks, and we love it. I mean, it's a game changer for me, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get anyone to pay for that.
I would be surprised.
I mean, it's amazing. I love it. We both love it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you'd be surprised.
okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
getting ready to add that too.
yeah, I mean, how much are you paying for a vial of it?
Oh, I can't remember, like $110 something like.
110 bucks, right? So what we typically do is, most of my patients, I just give them the vial and I tell them inject 100 to 200 milligrams sub Q twice a week. And that's it. Here you go. Cost you $110 for a vial of it, charge 250 bucks. That's it. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Like people could afford that.
Yeah, and so at that dosing, see, and I have heard you say many times, analysis paralysis. I get into that every day. So because I'm the type of person that will go down the rabbit hole looking into any and all details of any treatments, research. I've got articles and I've got 800 notes in my phone, Justin. So I'm that person and so when you say NAD plus like 1 to 200 milligrams sub Q per week, and then I've looked into, okay, so it could be 30 to 50 milligrams every other day, or I've seen people do way more. It just gets me like moving
Just
forward with it.
pick one and go. Who wants to inject themselves every other day?
That's
Not
what I thought too. That's my ideal.
100 milligrams twice a week sub Q. It's simple. It doesn't barely feel it. I mean, it's nothing,
Okay.
like always be thinking about the convenience factor of this,
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell wants to sit there for 4 hours to get an NAD infusion? I certainly don't.
That too, and I tell you what, the 2 hours that we were doing it, and I mean, just for the 250, it was like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah,
Right.
screw that. Here's 100 milligrams. Take it twice a week, sub Q. Call it a day. They're going to get the same benefits. It feels good. Yeah. And the weight loss, keep it simple. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, phentermine, Contrave. That's it. Like, don't offer anything else. That's it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. The phentermine, the Contrave are for the people who don't have the money for the semaglutide or the tirzepatide,
But
I
I'll
mean,
because honestly, in my mind, I'm a strong supporter, like a total fan of, like, keto. I mean, I absolutely love keto. I lost, 250 pounds on keto myself, and so I have my own story with that, and I didn't use medication, obviously. I
but
worked the system, but
yeah, but that doesn't
it's
sell.
I know. I wanted to develop a whole program and like where it could be subscription based where they log in and only get the content if they're a part of the member.
Meh. Okay, listen.
A lot.
Listen. Yeah. No, no, listen. Most people just want a medication. Okay. I hate to say this, but most people are just lazy and
I
they just
hate
want a
that.
pill. Yeah, I do too. But you know what? It is what it is. I mean,
I know.
my job's not to change the human condition.
That's true. That's true.
Like, that's just people. Okay. You're not going to change that. You're not going to be a
No.
superhero and change their behavior. You're just not going to. Like, give them what they want. They want the medication, They want the shiny toy at the bottom of the Cracker Jacks box. Like that, like that's what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it just is what it is. All right. So
Mhm.
yeah, like sure, develop a keto diet or whatever. Okay. And have that in addition to the medication. Okay.
Yeah.
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 But like
Just give some handouts and support their diet. Yeah.
exactly. But most people will still eat their hamburger and fries and their sausage biscuit in the morning and their sweet tea and all the bullshit they put in their mouth. They're still going to do that, but they'll be on semaglutide, so they'll do less of it and they'll lose weight, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah. So semaglutide, tirzepatide, phentermine, Contrave, leave it there.
And
That's
leave
it.
it at that.
Leave it at that.
Okay. And how do you usually package that then? I mean, I've heard some of your details about it. I'm just kind of circling back around to hear more.
So it depends. So if we have a patient who come in and they just want weight loss, okay, then we have the weight loss package. So we'll have a package for tirzepatide, semaglutide, phentermine, or Contrave. All right. We basically double our cost, okay, and charge that monthly, basically. I mean, that's just kind of a rough way to do it. And in that includes the visits, and it includes the medication, and it includes like the syringes or whatever. Okay. Just include it all in one thing. Basically, just double your price, double your cost, and you're making a profit. Sometimes you have to multiply that by, 2.5x instead, but just make sure that you are competitive. Make sure that your pricing is not too high compared to, anyone that might be within an hour drive. Make sure that you're not underpricing yourself either. Okay. So just keep it at that. So you have established basic tiers of your pricing, right? So I have a monthly package for men's health. I have a monthly package for weight loss. And then if, let's say, for example, they want testosterone replacement therapy, it's a man, and you charge $150 a month for it or whatever, okay? And then they want to start weight loss. Well, don't add on the monthly package for weight loss on top of that. They're already paying you monthly. So it's just an add-on, right? So we'll sell them the vial, the semaglutide for 2.5, 3x. We just give them the vial. Here you go. When you run out, let us know. And that's the price for the next vial. Okay. Yeah, they don't have to pay monthly for that because it's just an add-on, right? Or if someone's on weight loss, they're on weight loss for 3 to 6 months and they want to start HRT, then basically just start selling them the vials of the HRT at a 2 or 3x multiple. And then just include, the follow-up for that in the follow-up of the weight loss visit.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah. So just have foundational, membership programs, one for weight loss, one for men's health, HRT, and then you just add on vitamin injections. Someone wants to do NAD. Here's a vial. It's $250. It lasts you 2 months. There you go.
Okay. And so now you do that different levels for each medication in the weight loss program, though, don't you? Because it's obviously going to be more cost for tirzepatide and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly, right. So the tirzepatide, might be $400 a month. The semaglutide might be $250. The phentermine would be $150. The Contrave would be $150 or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. What I ran into already pricing my men's health, I ended up with an issue because they're great. Access Medical Labs is amazing. I love them. They're a great turnaround. They got results really quick, but it was a little more pricing, I guess, on the lab. So my initial consultation, I didn't price high enough to make anything but maybe I don't know, $30.
Yeah. You're using the Elite MP discount panels? Yeah. Access, right? Okay.
I had to add on the vitamin D and the CRP to it.
Sure. You don't have to do those. They're not necessary. You don't have to. I just like doing them because I like to know, do you have inflammation in your body and are you vitamin D deficient? That's why I like those. But you don't have
I like
to do
those
that.
too.
Yeah. So, yeah, with lab work, you can upcharge it by 0.5 or, let's say the panel costs you $120. We'll charge $170 for it. You charge $200 for it or whatever. I don't include that in my membership, though. It's just an additional charge. So
yeah, I'm not including it in the monthly. So just for my initial consult, it includes the labs. But then if they want to move forward with receiving, treatment, then it's a monthly charge and labs are in addition to that.
There you go. Okay, you can do that. Or if they have insurance, just let them use their insurance for the lab work. Just send them over to, some local lab. Here's your order. Go over there. And that lab will bill the insurance and deal with all that shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I give them the option. Sure, I could force every single person to pay cash for lab work. If I did that, I would lose patients.
Okay.
Okay.
So you give them the order for their insurance.
Yeah. No, yeah. Here you go. Here's an order. Go to whatever lab you want to. I don't care what lab you go to. I could care less.
Okay.
Here's your order. You can go over to LabCorp over there. You can go over to Quest Diagnostics over there. You can go to the hospital. I don't give a shit where you go.
Well, I actually do draw here in office, and then I also have a local account to actually have an account in working with LabCorp. So either I have
So
to call here.
yeah, there you go. So you only draw labs in clinic for your cash-based practice, for your cash pay ones. They use their insurance. Just give them an order and tell them to go to the lab. They'll draw it. They'll bill their insurance. They'll deal with all that. You get the results back in a week or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So give them that option. So just have the foundational pricing for your subscription. Okay. Like I said, 2.5x multiple on it. So if the semaglutide cost you, just easy math here. If it costs you $100, charge $200, $250.
Okay.
Okay. That way you have good margins and you maintain that 40 to 50% margin for your business. So that means for every $1,000 your clinic makes, you profit $400 or $500. That's your goal.
Okay.
Okay. That margin is what you want. And the majority of these cash-based wellness clinics, the majority of them, the margin is between 40 and 50%. That's what you should strive for.
Okay.
If you're hitting that, you're good. Okay. You're pricing it competitively. It's not super expensive and you're making money. So if you do that, you should be okay.
Alrighty, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I kind of figured I would take a little bit of a hit on the consultations, but if they actually want to sign up for the treatment plan, then it would be, better profit at that point, obviously.
Right, exactly. And then when you start adding on other stuff, it just increases the profits. They want NAD, great. Here you go. It's $250 for a vial of it, whatever.
Yeah.
You want a peptide, you want tesamorelin, whatever. Here you go. Vial of it's $300. Should last you, 45 days or whatever. It just adds up.
Yeah.
But you still have that base foundational monthly pricing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
I do have that set. And I think I'll just keep it what it is, even though that initial consultation is not going to bring much. It will if they move forward. Yeah, that's okay.
Well, what I do to make it worthwhile is, our initial consultation. I should really increase the prices on this, but I haven't. Our initial consultation is $200. Okay, it's $200. The initial consultation lasts, 30 to 60 minutes. We review the labs, history, physical, blah blah blah. It's just, it's a standard visit, and then it also includes the first month of treatment. That's for HRT.
Oh, okay.
For weight loss, is going to be more than that because semaglutide's more, right? So charge $300 or whatever. And it includes the first month of treatment. After the first month, that's when they go to that monthly pricing. That's all I do it. And if they want to pay for labs, they pay for labs.
I have mine set up just a little bit different because I was trying to figure that out, and I knew how you had said to do that. It just, I guess, because of my schedule and timing and everything, I had to work it out a little bit different. So my initial consultation, I do charge them $199, but it includes the consultation and labs. That's when I draw labs.
Okay.
I draw them here. And then then we telehealth or come back in for another 15 to 30 minute consultation to tell them what the labs were. And this is the plan moving forward.
Okay. So restructure that.
Okay.
Okay. Charge $200 or whatever, and to include the first month of treatment and the visit.
Okay.
Labs are an additional $150 or $200 or whatever if you want to pay cash for them.
Okay.
Yeah. The lab work gets done before that initial visit. Don't waste your time. You're basically giving yourself another visit you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You're wasting another 30 to 60 minutes of your time. So they come in. Are you interested in HRT? Are you interested in weight loss? Great. We require lab work first. Here's your lab order. Go get the labs done. Once we get your labs back, we will call and schedule your initial consultation. We'll go over the lab work, etc.
Okay. So do you actually get them so when they book on my website, because they book directly on my business site through my EMR, and so when they book that, do you go ahead and send, it automatically sends their consents and all that stuff, so I would send the lab order at that point?
Correct. Yeah. So like on our website, for example, it's like schedule your, so on the scheduling page, we have a big paragraph there that says we require lab work to be done prior to your initial consultation. Schedule your lab work visit now. Click. And then they schedule it, and then you can just shoot them a phone call and be like, hey, listen, you scheduled for, Friday at 3:00 or whatever. You can come in anytime you want, come get your blood work done, and then we'll schedule your initial visit. You'll start getting the routine of how long it takes labs to get back. Access is usually pretty good. You usually get the lab work back in 48 hours.
Yeah.
LabCorp might take 7 days. The hospital might take 2 weeks, whatever, right? Like you'll figure out those turnaround times. So when they come in for their blood work, you could say, okay, hey, we can go ahead and schedule your initial evaluation. this blood work usually takes 2 days to get back. So let's schedule your appointment next week at, on Thursday or whatever. Now, the problem with that, though, is that if they use their insurance and you give them the lab order, I would not schedule the initial valuation because you don't know if they get that lab order. Like, you don't know if they get those labs done or not. I would only do that if you draw the lab work in clinic and they pay cash for it because the labs are done.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know if they don't send me the reports.
Right, exactly. If you schedule someone out a week later and they go to LabCorp and use their insurance, what if they don't show up and get it? Now you have a spot on your calendar. That's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Or you could just skip all that and just say, we'll call you back in a couple of days as soon as we get the lab work back and we'll schedule your visit. That's what we do. That way it saves you time. It saves you another visit. You don't have to waste your time. So that's how I would do that. Any other questions?
I think that was it. So you said the best way to restructure, do the 200 to include the first month, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that's what I would do for Men's Health.
Okay.
Now, the margin on that is not that much.
Yeah.
Because, the margin's still okay, but you got to factor your time in for it. Okay. You're still making a profit on it, But yeah, so for Men's Health, $200, $250, and that range it's reasonable. For weight loss, I would maybe charge $300 if they're going to do semaglutide, maybe $400 for tirzepatide, phentermine or Contrave. I would just stick to the $200.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I eat for my Men's Health is the initial of $200, then it's $149.
Yep, perfect. And then the weight loss, like I said, call the compounding pharmacies that you have, accounts with, get the pricing, and then from that pricing, you build your pricing.
Okay. Yeah, I did that, and I've been still trying to adjust some of that because there's like issues. I've used the local. Well, everybody knows it, but it's a local, and it takes like 7 to 10 business days for processing. And so, it may be cheaper shipping or whatever, but it's just it's not a good turnaround. So I'm still looking for other.
Well, listen, to be honest with you, anymore, most of these compounding pharmacies, it's 7 to 10 days. Just roll with it. For the most part, it is what it is.
And you just don't charge the patient until that actually ships out, and then you charge the patient.
No, I charge the patient before I even order anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
the lapse in time then before they get it, and then it lapses again, you charge them 2 weeks before you do the refill too?
That's what I would do. You can either put them on an automatic payment where it just bills their credit card every month for $150 on the first Wednesday of the month or whatever. And then that way, when they need a refill, they just call, just make sure that they've paid their monthly fee, and then you just give them a refill. What you'll find is that a lot of people will just pay for multiple months at a time. So you'll get some guys who are on testosterone replacement therapy who want like 3 months at a time because they travel or something.
Well, I had that situation, and Kentucky is a reduced practice, and we are 30-day limited. So
yeah, well,
I had to pass on that, but
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You can't, but like semaglutide though, for example, you could do, I want 3 months worth right now. Okay, great. Well, it's $250 a month times 3. That's $750. Give them a 10% discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So give them packages. Like it's either monthly or we have a 2-month package, a 3-month package, a 6-month package. And then for each of those, give them a little bit of a discount because it's always better to get the money up front.
Now, here's the thing, though. It doesn't mean that I can't. I just thought about this while you were saying that. Thinking back to the Men's Health, like the, 3-month package, 6 months or whatever, I did actually price it that way, but that could still apply even though I'm submitting the prescription monthly. If they pay up front, they get a discount still.
Yeah, 100%.
I take a little bit of loss on that for the shipping fees every month, but I've got their money up front.
Exactly. And just make sure you're hitting that 40-50% margin on that. Okay.
Okay.
If you're only making 20% because of all the shipping charges, then you might need to readjust your pricing because the shipping costs will add up quick.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes. On follow up with Men's Health after, like if I'm doing like the 2 or 3 month follow up and doing labs again, is there a necessity in doing I know it's probably part of the panels and doesn't really matter, but do you have to redraw like the LH, FSH if they're going to tank anyway?
No, I wouldn't. What's the point?
That doesn't matter, right?
No, what's the point? I mean, as soon as they start testosterone, the LH and FSH will shut down. There's no point. It's always going to be 0.
Okay. That's what I figured. So I wasn't even going to worry in that direction.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
Okay. And then one other thing, just because you have more expertise in this, and I've seen like some debate on the Facebook group about it, just like the HCG, the Somorelins and stuff like that, if they're even necessary for hypotesticular function.
So peptides aren't. Peptides are going to have any, they're not going to affect the testicles whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a growth hormone thing.
Yeah.
HCG and clomiphene, okay, those will work directly on the testicles to help keep them stimulated. Do they need to be on it? No, they don't.
More for fertility though, right?
Correct. I mean, right. So if they want to maintain their fertility, okay, give them HCG or Clomid. I personally do Clomid because it's cheaper. And it works. A lot of people don't like it. Well, I don't see the reason why you don't like it, because all my patients like it. Like, I don't very rarely have any side effects whatsoever. And it's cheaper. HCG is just more expensive. So yeah, it's only if they want to maintain fertility or if they want to maintain testicular function because they don't want their balls to shrink. Personally, I really don't care.
I heard a lot from a lot of people. Yeah.
I don't care the size of my balls. I don't care. I care less. That's not what does the work. You know what I mean? I don't care,
You just make it look bigger anyway, right?
There's always a positive to it. Right, exactly. So, we might be trying for like for a second kid. Okay. Yeah. If we decide we don't want another one, I'm going to get snipped. So why the hell would I be on HCG or Clomid? It's a waste of time and money for me.
Yeah, true.
So like you get these guys who are in their mid 40s and 50s. If they don't care, then don't bother,
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and then the anastrozole too, that part of it. I mean,
it's not necessary in most men.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some guys, and I don't care. There's a lot of people who say that you never treat men with anastrozole. Okay. Good. But then what do you do with these guys who are having these estrogenic side effects? Because as soon as you give them anastrozole, the side effects go away. So what do? You just have them suffer? That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, no, some guys do need it.
Okay.
Okay. All guys don't. Just don't include it just in your package. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only use it if they need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of planning on doing. I had kind of reworked that a little bit, just a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I just anastrozole, I don't charge for it. It's dirt cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like if you need it, here you go. It cost me 15 cents or something, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So any other questions?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I think I think you're probably going to do pretty good. You have no competition. You're offering in-demand services. HRT and weight loss are in demand. They have great margins. Like, I don't see why this wouldn't work. Just be patient.
Okay.
So I like to end the episode with you asking me a question. Do you have a question for me? Personal curiosity or anything like that? Just, directly for me.
I thought I would, but how long have you been in healthcare? I guess that's about the only question I can think of right now.
So I became an RN in 2000 and when was it? 2009?
You lose track of time, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? 2009, I think. 2009, 2010. Yeah.
You had to run the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember. Yeah. 2009, 2010, something like that. Became a nurse practitioner in 2013.
Cool. What's your favorite area of nursing then?
Really don't have one.
You don't?
Yeah, my favorite is my own business, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, as an RN, I did a lot of acute care stuff, ER, that kind of a thing. But honestly, I did a lot of home health. I liked home health. It was a lot of autonomy. You're free. You're independent out there.
Yeah. I've done home health too. It was pretty good. I mean, I did love the autonomy, honestly. But at that point when I was doing that, they had combined, I was clinical manager, and then I also covered 5 counties as the only nurse. So I think I ended up on some blood pressure medicine at that time.
Yeah. I bet.
But it is a lot of independence with that. It was pretty fun.
It's great. You sit there and listen to music and podcasts and whatever, and you just drive around. I mean, you spend most of your time in the car just driving, Great money. You get paid per visit. So like, it was almost kind of like your own little mini business. Like, yeah, like if I was good, if I was an RN, I was going to stay in RN, I probably would have just stayed in home health.
Yeah. And it is pretty nice when you go to greet your patients, especially like the little rural ones, and they'll give you like a clipping of their flowers or the farm eggs, or it's just a cool.
Yeah, exactly. They'll bake you cookies or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, listen, if you need anything, you got my email, let me know. If you want to do a follow-up, just let me know. And I wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Tracy. She is in an area that doesn't have a whole lot of competition, so I think she's probably going to do pretty good. This is the goal of being in smaller towns and places where you don't have a lot of competition. It's almost like a cheat code. If you are in an area that's very saturated, you have a lot of competitors, you're going to start on an uphill battle, and it's going to be harder for you to succeed. You will need to invest a lot of money into marketing, SEO, that sort of a thing, because you need to get in front of your competitors. But Tracy doesn't have any. And so, this is going to be a lot easier for her compared to someone who might be in, Houston or Atlanta or whatever. So if you are in the startup phase or you're wanting to expand your business, really, really look around, okay? Go to the places where there is no competition. If you do that, you will succeed a lot faster compared to going to an oversaturated market. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.